Visit CCGCastle.com and get 5% discount on your purchase with TCG Center 5 code. Check video description or visit CCG Castle for more. Hello and welcome back to Pokemon TCG Center. Today's video is about Night March deck for the Worlds 2016. So I decided actually to build this deck for the Worlds 2016 just because a lot of people maybe is scared about Night March. So this is, in my opinion, the build that might actually appear, or maybe something similar to this will appear on the Worlds. I'm 100% sure that there will definitely be players who are going to play Night March, and maybe not the similar or the same like the my deck list, but I'm sure that they will definitely play that. So basically, as you can see, pretty much standard Night March list of the 4 Joltics, 4 Lampions, and 4 Poopkaboos, but I decided to add 2 Mews. Mew is just good because in case you actually started without anything in your hand and you actually have just Dimension Wally, it can help you to actually with Encounter search your deck for maybe Shaman for the setup, which is actually very important. But also it can definitely help you to input a lot of more damage counters. For example, you can have 11 Night Marches in your discard pile, which will be 220 damage, and with Fighting Fury Belt, you can add 10 more damage, and for example, knock out Zygarde with 230 HP with Mew, and pretty much Joltik or a Poopkaboo on your bench, which is very important. But also with the Mew, you can Sky Return, just because you can also copy your Shaman attack, and you can even Sky Return for the 40, put it back into your hand, and preserve your double chorus energy, and basically Mew for the next turn for attack. In a mirror match can definitely help you a lot. Of course, 4 Shaman EX for the setup is, I guess, the most needed card in this deck, because you need to be able to set up on turn 1, especially if you go second. Set up turn 1 and maybe even Lysander your opponent bench for 2 prize knockout in the early game is definitely a huge and big advantage. Even with that, Pokemon Ranger, Giratina, and Seismitoad are not anymore big threat to the Shaman EX deck. So basically, with the Pokemon Ranger in play, you can remove all effects of attack of each player and his or her Pokemon, basically, and that's very important because if Chaos Wheel Giratina attacks you, you can just play Ranger and you can again attach double chorus energy to your Joltik, Poopkaboo, Shaman, or Mew, and you can attack. And even if Seismitoad Quaking Punch you, you can just play Ranger and you're able to play item cards for a turn, which is just amazing. Pretty much all other cards are almost a staple. But also one extra card from the Steam Siege set in this build is a Special Charge. It will allow you also to shuffle 2 special energy cards from your discard pile back into your deck. So basically with the Special Charge you can shuffle 2 double chorus energies into your deck and pretty much grab them pretty easily. Either way with the Shaman setup or with any kind of the Sycamore or Jaw support. As you can see in this list, I don't have actually any N. This is just reason because if you go first, you can definitely take some advantage. With the 4 copies of Battle Compressor, you can discard Judge, and if you're able to set up turn 1 pretty good, you can just judge your opponent down to 4 cards, and there's a good chance that he might not get anything from those 4 cards, and you can actually get pretty fast knockout and maybe even dunk in turn 1, turn 2, which is very important. But pretty much all other cards are almost the same that I run in my previously versions of the Night March deck. So basically I'm running 4 Battle Compressor, which can actually help you to throw out 3 cards from your deck, which is very good. Also 4 copies, also 1 copy of Escape Rope will help a lot, especially if you play against Jolteon, for example, and Jolteon attacks you don't have Ranger, you can just Escape Rope on your bench, Lysander Jolteon for 2 prizes, and that's pretty much it, so you don't need to worry about that. So Escape Rope, definitely a good card, and can help in a lot of cases. 4 copies of Puzzle of Time, it will help you a lot, just because by playing them 2 at the same time, you can grab any 2 cards from your discard pile back into your hand, which is very important. 1 Special Charge, as I mentioned earlier, same as 1 Starling Megaphone. Since I'm not running Xerosic, I decided to go with the Starling Megaphone. It can help a lot to scrap all tool cards from all of your Pokemons and all of your opponent Pokemon is in play. For me, this is a very good card. Target Whistle, most important also card in this deck, same as the Ranger, because with the Target Whistle you can just basically put your opponent EX Pokemon on his bench, Lysander for 2 prizes, do it again and again with a puzzle of times, and basically it can easily bring you a victory even from nowhere. So Target Whistle, definitely good card, especially against heavy EX deck. Trust me, you definitely want to run Target Whistle if you play Night March. Town Map, also very good card, because you can see where are your prize cards actually are located, or what you actually have in your prize cards. But if you play your deck, you should probably know what you have prized. But basically with the town map, you should know what card you want to take from the prize cards. That's the most important thing. 4 copies of Trainer's Mail, 4 copies of Ultra Ball, and 4 copies of V-Seeker must have, since I'm not running acrobikes and stuff like that. Also, from supporter cards, running 1 AZ can help a lot, especially to remove Shaman from play, so your opponent will not be able to take 2 prizes. Hex Maniac to shut down those Trevenant abilities, and Greninja Breaks abilities, and also maybe Westpac and Wildbloom. But basically, against Trevenant, if you go first and if you manage to set up, you should definitely be able maybe to beat Trevenant without problems, if you can actually Hex Maniac from turn to turn and just shut down his abilities and grab another Hex Maniac, play item cards, 1 hit, and knock it out. So basically, in my opinion, you have good matchup against Trevenant if you actually started first, and if you actually have something like Poopkaboo and Fighting Fury Belt with 100 HP in the active spot, and something like 8 Night Marches in your discard pile, so you can actually 160 from turn to turn. But if Night March player actually have those bursting balloons, then you should probably find yourself in a huge trouble. Copy of Judge, as I mentioned it earlier, just because if you manage to set up turn 1, play Judge, but also is good in the mid or late game. Actually, if your opponent ends you and you just top deck V-Seeker and you don't have Sycamore in discard pile, you can just Judge for 4, so it's definitely good. Copy of Lysander, copy of Ranger, of course, 2 copies of Sycamore, only 2 copies of Sycamore and 1 Judge. It's very risky list, but that's in my opinion good list. I played 35 games and I won 33 times with this deck, so it's definitely good combo. Also, 1 Teammates. After you suffer the knockout, you can use Teammates, V-Seeker for Teammates, search your deck for any 2 cards, basically. With the Teammates, you can grab something like 2 puzzles, you can grab any 2 cards that you need. Basically, Teammates, very important card for this build. I decided to roll with the 3-dimensional wall instead of the 4, just because you can attack with Mew, and basically you don't need 4 copies of Dimension Wall, you just need to have Mew and Joltik on your bench, so with the double Course Energy you can hit for the Night March. So that's the reason why actually 4 Dimension Walls are not needed so much. Of course, 2 copies of Fighting Fury Belt and 4 double Course Energy. You should probably notice that I don't have Floatstone, but that's the reason because I'm running Escape Rope, and I think Escape Rope can actually give me a better advantage instead of the Floatstone, especially if my opponent have some EX Pokemons on his bench that I actually want to knock out, so I can just easily play Escape Rope and he's forced to promote his benched Pokemon in the active position, like some EX, for example. And on the other side, if I have Mew on my bench, I can just free retreat with it. So that's the reason why I actually don't run Floatstone. So in my opinion, this deck list might appear on the Worlds, might actually do a lot of problems to you. So you should definitely, if you play, take note about it. It might help you a lot. So it's very good to know what you can actually see there. And basically, this Night March list have a lot of potential to actually enter at least top 64, top 32 in my opinion. It's pretty damn strong deck, especially with that Ranger and the Special Charge. I wouldn't even be surprised to see this deck in the top 8 and maybe even winning Worlds this year. So basically, very broken deck. So with that Ranger and Special Charge, you definitely have huge advantage against those item locks like Seismitoad Giratina, like Giratina Darkrai, Garbodor, and stuff like that. So the biggest threat for this deck should probably be not even Greninja, but only, I guess, Trevenant. So Trevenant is the biggest problem for this deck, in my opinion. And only 2 times when I actually lost with this deck was against Trevenant Break. So that's pretty much it. If you're looking for any of these cards, find them on CCGCastle.com. You can find the link in my video description, and also get 5% discount on your purchase by typing TCG Center 5 code. So definitely keep that in mind. So yeah, pretty much let's do a gameplay with it. 1 game test, so you can actually see how this deck is broken and how it will work. So see you in the game. Alright guys, so should I go first? I guess no. I'm taking a risk here. Maybe I play against item lock and maybe I regret that. But on the other side, I just decide to go second because I can start to attack with my Joltik on my turn 1. So basically, that's very important. Okay, so on the other side I see Eviltal. So I guess this is going to be easy knockout turn 1 for me, that's for sure. But first I need to get some resources. So there's a Darkrai on the bench and a Max Elixir. Very interesting. 1 energy already on a Darkrai. Fighting Fury Belt for Darkrai, of course, 220 HP in this case. So I will need a lot of my Night Marchers in my discard pile, actually 11 of them, 11 of 12 to be able to one-hit knock out his Darkrai. But of course I'm running Starling Megaphone, so I don't need to worry too much about Darkrai. And I can always 2-time attack and knock him out, so not a big deal, I guess. So 2 of 2 Max Elixirs, and that's pretty much it. Let's go with Dimension Wally. Ultra Ball, of course, for 2 Lampens, which will give me access to the Shaming EX. Let me just see, I have 4 Shamings in my deck, which is good. 4 Double Core's Energy, 3 Puzzle of Times, which means that 1 is in my hand. Ultra Ball, 3 VS Seekers, 1 VS Seeker repriced. Oh, Starling Megaphone actually priced. But okay, I guess I can live with that. So let's see, Trainer's Mail. Trainer's Mail for Puzzle of Time. I think in this situation Puzzle of Time will be good. Just because with the Puzzle of Time I can grab Ultra Ball and Trainer's Mail. And basically I can use Ultra Ball to search my deck for, I guess, something like Mew. And basically I can have set up for 6. I think it's the best in this way to grab as many cards as I can actually. So I do this. I know I discarded 2 of the Puzzle of Times, which is definitely not good, but it is how it is. So there's even V-Seeker in my hand and a Battle Compressor, which means only one thing, that I'm going to discard 2 more Lampens and 1 Lysander, just because I can have access on his Darkrai on the bench. I'm going to play Double Core's Energy Attachment, V-Seeker for Lysander. I definitely want that Darkrai in the early game. And Shaming for 4 extra cards. For now I can hit only for 80, I need more damage counter right here. There is a very nice card as a top deck, which is a Town Map. I'm going to play 1 more Ultra Ball to add a few more damage counters right here. Want to put my Joltik on the bench. But pretty much that's going to be it. So far, I will keep my Shaming for the next turn so I can set up 120, pretty decent damage. Since I didn't have Starling Megaphone, there is no need to force another Shaming play. I guess he's probably going to knock me out even if I have that Fighting Fury Belt. So as I mentioned, there was no need to go with the Shaming setup, so I didn't want to force that. And basically there are 2 more Eviltals on his bench, but once I'm able actually to grab my Starling Megaphone from the bench. Oh, is he played Pearl City? Yes, but he actually does that on his way. So basically, if he played at Pearl City on my side, I would not be able to set up my Shamings. But luckily he didn't do that. And there is very nice N. That will help me a lot right here. I can definitely see that. Just because I managed to get a Double Chorus Energy. So pretty much the game plan is to put Mew next turn into the active spot. Oh, he decided to retreat. Of course, he can knock out my Joltik with his Eviltal Oblivion Wing. Take 1 prize, attach 1 energy, probably to another Eviltal. So I definitely need to get another V-Seeker with my Trainer's Mail right here. And I guess this is going to be pretty easily. Before I do that, I will just discard a few more cards. I guess I can discard 2 more Poop Caboose and even Hex Maniac. Let's see, Trainer's Mail. Fighting Fury Belt will work. Actually, want to add a few more HP onto my Mew. Let's see, another Trainer's Mail. Will there be V-Seeker? No, it wouldn't be. But there's a Battle Compressor, which means that I can thin a little bit more of cards of my deck. before I actually decide to roll with my Mew. So what I'm going to discard right here, I guess I'm going to throw out one more Judge, and I can even throw out one more Shaymin EX. Oh, Shaymin, maybe better Shaymin not. Maybe better not to touch Shaymin. Let's go with another Battle Compressor. And basically, double Chorus attachment, Pookable for the bench, Shaymin for 5, and I need just a V-Seeker to take 2 prizes right here, which is very important. And yes, I managed to grab that one. So there's a V-Seeker for the Lysander, and I'm going to knock out his Darkrai on the bench. Take 2 prizes, which is very important. I also have a special charge, but it's not time yet to play it. I don't have 2 energies in my discard pile. So there's a Night March for 170. So that means the next turn I need one more Night Marcher in my discard pile. And something like Lysander. And something like Lysander basically, and Target Whistle, so I can bring back again his Darkrai into the active spot and take 2 more prize cards. So that's definitely the thing that I'm looking forward to do. That Yveltal will not be able to do more than 50 damage, but even if he's able to do 50, he cannot knock out my Mew as long as I have that Fighting Fury Belt attached to it. So he definitely needs to get something. Maybe even N can help him a lot in this case, but let's see, Ultra Ball for Zorua. Alright, so Zoroark will definitely be a big threat. Alright. One more energy attachment on the Yveltal on the bench. He can definitely go with that Oblivion Wing and attach one more energy onto it. He might be even able to Lysander Shaymin for 2 prizes, who knows. So I might just go with the V-Seeker for Lysander, knocking out his Yveltal this next turn. But there's a V-Seeker for N, I can see that. No, for the Lysander actually. So he have Lysander and he just want to knock out my Joltik and take 1 more prize, which means that without another Joltik I might not be able to use my Mew. But not a big deal, I guess. Just the question is, do I want to take 2 prizes right here by knocking out his Darkrai or not? So that's the biggest question right now. There is Puzzle of Time, and there is Trainer's Mail in my hand, which can give me a Target Whistle, which can actually give me the access to 2 more prizes. So let's go with the Target Whistle for his Darkrai, and how many double cores I have. I will play Dimension Wally. I'm going to play my V-Seeker for the Lysander, just because he has 4 cards in his hand. So how many Night Marches I have? 4, 7, 10. Alright, so that's enough for the knockout. But it definitely needs that double Chorus energy in my deck. And I'm also going to take 2 cards more into my deck, so I'm going to use my Night March for 2 prize knockout right here, that is for sure. So I need to take 2 more prizes just, I guess, 1 Teammates. Let me see, Dimension Wally and Teammates, both 2 good cards. So what I really need here is just another Puzzle of Time. So basically with another Puzzle of Time I can grab another basically Target Whistle for that Darkrai, and I can just easily knock him out, and that will definitely give me the 2 more last prizes. So if he actually uses his Darkness Blade and knock me out, I can definitely play my Teammates and grab any 2 cards that I want. So even without that, with the Muscle Band, he might be able to knock me out. So let's see, there's Starling Megaphone and Sycamore for 7, which means that there is no N. And this is very important because I also have 1 more Shaymin left into my deck. And that's very important because I will have 1 space on my bench, which will probably be enough to knock out his, to get pretty much everything that I need, actually. Alright, so let's see. I need 1 Puzzle of Time for double Chorus energy, and I need to drop also V-Seeker. So I need I need a lot of cards right here. I need V-Seeker, I need Puzzle of Time. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So that will be enough for the knockout over his Darkrai in discard pile. So there's a pretty good chance to get everything that I need. Just because if he actually discard my Dimension Wallet, then there's a greater chance to do that. Just because I'm going to draw one card, so I will have 9 cards in my deck. And basically by Dimension Wally, I will have 1 less card in my hand, but looks like he's not going to play Stadium card. He just go for the Darkness Blade and for the straight knockout right here. And basically, in this case, I'm going to promote my Pupkaboo. I want to keep my Joltik for the next turn. There is double Chorus Energy as a top deck, so I guess I'm going to play my Ultra Ball for AZ and a Dimension Wally. As you can see, there is Puzzle of Time, there is V-Seeker, so I just need to get Puzzle of Time and V-Seeker, and this will be a GG. So there is a shame for the setup for 4 extra cards. Will there be? Yes, there's pretty much it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I do have V-Seeker, which means that I can grab Lysander. And with 2 Puzzle of Times, I can pretty much grab any 2 cards. Even without V-Seeker, that would be GG, because I would be able to grab that Target Whistle and basically knock out his Darkrai for the last 2 prizes. So yeah, let's just finish this by knocking out his Darkrai on the bench, and after that we can talk a little bit more about this Night March deck. So pretty much. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Night March for that last knockout over his Darkrai for 190, and right now you see why it's very important to run that Target Whistle in your deck, because it can easily bring you a victory.